Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 14, Chapter 2, Future Plans, Part 5. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Guy arrived with a look of displeasure. Yo, here I come. But then again, it was a big deal to call me over. You're right. But alas, the words are still hopefully spoken not to me, but to Diablo. With that, there were 4 people heading to the reception room. Me, the culprit Diablo, and then Benimaru and Xian. Sitting next to Guy was a female with similar looks to Milam. That is, the two are on the same level of existence, and such existence is extremely limited, right? I'm afraid she is. This is the first time you've seen each other. I'll introduce you, Rimuru. This is Veldora's sister, Velzard. She's been called White Ice Dragon more often than not, so let's remember them both. Greetings, Demon Lord Rimuru. My name is Velzard. Do you know anything about Velzard, the White Ice Dragon? My brother seems to have been under your care, so I thought I'd stop by and say hello. No mistake. She is the sister of Veldora, one of the strongest of the dragon race. Velzard, the White Ice Dragon. Ah, greetings, my name is Rimuru, and I'm a monster for now. I'm the one, always being helped by your brother. Why I can only say such words. And then why, is the King of Wisdom also silent this time? Geez, that's modest. Don't be so defensive of the kid. Once again there is a strong recognition of her blood relationship with Milam. The heaviness eased, thanks to this smile. The pleasantries continued, introducing each other to their respective members. As everyone was almost seated, I asked for a guide to prepare the tea. Shuna understood what I meant and finished her job without faltering. Drinking the tea brought up by them, I took a break and began to move to the main topic. I didn't ask you to come here today for anything else. I have something I want to ask Guy. Oh? It's true, we managed to repel the Imperial invasion. Then, I thought we'd take it this time, but I heard that there's Velgrand on the Empire side. Ah, your sister is there too. And, putting a lot of information together and judging by it, I don't think there's a karma or something between you and the Empire. Oh, well, I'm glad you could see that. You're just trying to get in the way of the Empire's war power, aren't you? That's what keeping Yuki alive is all about, right? I'm sure you mean it when you say you don't want to destroy the Western countries, but it's more than that, right? You said, game, and all that. Who are you playing against? However, if there was a Velgrand on the Imperial side, or even a hidden threat on its equal, then one could not help but ask. If I attacked without figuring it out, there was a good chance that my companions would show up fallen. Well, that's a good move, so let me tell you. I felt that instead it was scary and listened honestly to his explanation. Actually, I made a bet with some The guy hangs onto ideals that are too outrageous to be true, so I told him what's realistic. We did not choose to fight outright, but to use the pieces in our respective hands to decide the winner. The pawn in your hand refers to, well, it's you people. As much as it was tempting to ask Guy to stop casually using people as pawns, there was no point in ranting here. Then I'll just ask for some useful information. So, the man you're competing with is the Emperor of the Empire, right? Exactly. The Emperor of the Empire, Rudra, is a rival with whom I identify. Since it could be said to be his own opponent, this Rudra couldn't be a strongman who could rival Guy, right? May I speak? Yeah. Then allow me to ask, what are the winning conditions for this game? Was it necessary to defeat Emperor Rudra? Or is it just a matter of suppressing all his pieces? I hope you can help me with this. I've always thought that the condition of victory was that one had to defeat Rudra, and if one took the pawns, that is to say, one could win by disintegrating the Empire's side of the battle. Kufufufufu. Idiot. You are. Guy and I were in the same mood, and we both nodded at each other involuntarily. Anyway, I'll tell Diablo to shut up for now. Then, Guy, how about answering Benimaru's question? Rimuru-kun? Actually, I'd like to ask you something. I refuse. Oh, listen to this. I want you to stop that Rudra. I wouldn't say it's as hard as letting you take him down, you just have to figure out a way to deal with the pawns and make sure I win. Guy's expression couldn't have been more evil. He got up from his chair and went around to my back, giving me a shoulder squeeze as he talked. You'll do it, won't you? A threat, right? What would I gain by accepting this offer? Since you can't say no, you have to get more out of it. It may have been reckless to target Guy, but I did my best to negotiate anyway. I say, it's because of you that the balance of the world I'm running is falling apart. What do you think about that? I'm sorry. It's true that I'm the one who took away most of the battle power from Guy's side, even though it's to build a new balance, and I'm working on it. To put it more bluntly, it would be inappropriate to send the Demon Girl trio to our camp. If Guy is rejected here, even I might be treated as an enemy. There's no way around it. I gave up resistance and accepted Guy's offer. Guy returned to his seat just in time for the sound of a knock on the door. The door to the room opened and Shuna entered. The aroma of black tea filled the room, and the tension thinned. The tray was also topped with a cake, so I decided to go into break time. Ho ho, isn't that pretty good? Ah, really. This cake is not just sweet, but the layers all have different flavors fused together for a rich and layered texture. The aroma is great, but the bitterness adds to the sweetness. Also, the room is furnished in a style that is to my liking. Unexpectedly, Guy also made a compliment. Ah, is that so? It's great that you're the first guest to visit here to your taste. This room is a top-of-the-line parlor and only brings people here when they need to fill the doorway. Ah, are you trying to make a fool out of me? Yeah, right. If they didn't do that, where would the Demon Lord be? If you want to give up your glory, why don't you just hide in the shadows and live happily in secret from the beginning? Ah ha ha. And me, prying into each other's minds? You're so funny. That's very kind of you. Never mind, I'll let the trouble go. While this is my request, it is not unrelated to you. I want to continue the war and destroy the Empire just like that. That is, make Rudra's pawns 0 without killing Rudra? I had that feeling when you stammered to answer Benimaru's question. That's it. There is no strict definition of victory conditions for the game, although they are. The only thing that was decided was the rule that players can't shoot each other directly. An opponent admits defeat or death, and the inability to continue the game can be considered victory conditions, right? Yeah, that's it. That is, the Emperor Rudra and Guy seem to have fought for over 2,000 years. Guy keeps the world in balance while increasing the number of pawns in his hand. It seemed like there were a lot of long-lived magical creatures among them, and Guy was slowly waiting for them to evolve. Well, why talk to me? Ah, of course I would. You're the first one to push Rudra to this point. But you, all kills are right, that Rudra boy's pieces didn't increase. Rudra's aim was fruitful, to use defeat as a trial to allow the survivors to evolve. The unawakened had no value as a pawn, and it was precisely because Guy was of that mindset that he acquiesced to the feud between the monsters. The more people who awaken as true demon lords, the more beneficial they will be in the game. With this as a premise, the remaining question is the point at which the showdown will be initiated. This time too, if dozens of people had survived with Veldora as their opponent, there should be an awakening among them. So, I'm going to use this gap to attack the Empire? Do what you want. I don't need to say it, but you know there's no point in fighting in vain. If you know, I'd like to know if there are any of Rudra's men of whom we must be on guard. Who knows, I just focus on my hand exercise. If I'm the strongest, then it doesn't matter how strong or weak the other hand is. Either way, we and the Empire must distinguish between right and wrong. Not because of your commission, I will act on my convictions. Lord Rimuru, are you going to go there yourself? It can't be helped. We should also not be able to kill Yuki, but we should meet with him and aim for harmony under favorable conditions. Isn't it dangerous? It's dangerous no matter what. Suppose, even if someone had made a treaty of peace in the past, would you believe it? If that happens, I'll have to be on guard all the time, and I won't be able to achieve my goal of a leisurely life. I don't want to be like that and have to be done with it. Yeah, me too. What about the guards? Of course, it's you. Then I'm okay with that. Guy looked at my conversation with Benimaru and thought it was funny and laughed. Ah ha ha, you're fun to watch and the ministry is delightful, too. There's also an air of wonder that feels like there's room for evolution. That's it. Benimaru is the right hand whom I rely on the most. Oh, so it wasn't Diablo? Ah, that guy is strong, but what can I say, he's a problematic person. I get it. So, I have one thing I want to confirm. What is it? That Rudra, can he give ultimate skills to others? I'm glad you found out. As you say, Rudra has an interesting stunt of being able to lend his power to others. So, do you know the terms of the loan? Don't worry, the guy's powers are not all powerful. What can be borrowed is degraded and limited power. As for the receiver of the lending, by the way, they must at least be awakened and able to serve as a vessel of power. It seems there are conditions, I don't know about that, aren't that threatening? That's how it is. There's no threat to holding ultimate skills, you're the only one who can say that. Looking at Guy's delicious tasting cake, I feel a little angry just thinking about it. I was irritated by the lack of content and expressions, and even more irritated by the fact that I was handed the assignment as if it was none of my business. I decided not to get carried away by Guy and calm down to compile the information.